So let's talk Tesla's earnings. There was an amazing earnings call. I just loved it, and we'll talk a little bit why the stock is down. Also, there's news about the Cybertruck. This is incredible. Something like this has never existed, so we'll talk about that a little bit too. So stay tuned. So here we go. teslaearnings reported second quarter earnings on Wednesday after market close. Tesla reported second quarter revenue of $24.93 billion, which was up 47% year over year. Revenue beat street estimate of $24.48 billion according to Benzinga. Tesla reported profits of 91 cents per share, beating the street estimate of 82 cents per share. Automotive revenue was $21.27 billion, up 46% year over year. The company reported solar power in the quarter down 38% year over year, but in line with the first quarter. Energy storage deployment was up 222% year over year. The company highlighted its previous reported production total of 479,700 units and delivery total of 466,140 units. Tesla called the second quarter a record based on production, deliveries, and revenue. Operating margins came in at 9.6% lower than the previous year. Well, we knew about that. Tesla called the margins healthy given price reductions. Gross margins were 18.2% lower than the 25% reported a year ago and the 19.3% reported the first quarter. Average selling price were down and impacted profit margins for the quarter, along with the increased operating costs. And according to a company, Tesla ended up the quarter with $184 million in digital assets on its balance sheet, in line with the total reported in the first quarter. Tesla reported 5,265 supercharger located to 2.7 billion. Tesla's deliveries of new vehicles rose 83%, revenue rising 47% to $24.9 billion, beating expectation. Tesla's shares have more than doubled this year through Wednesday. Tesla keeps 2023 production goals of about 1.8 million vehicles. Artificial intelligence was mentioned several times in the presentation. Tesla is starting production of the Dojo training computer, and the company said it remains committed to its goal of 50% annual production growth with a target of 1.8 million vehicles in 2023. In conclusion, the company said, we are focusing on cost reduction, new product development that will enable future growth, investments in R&D, better vehicle financing options, and continuous product improvement, and also generating of free cash flow. The challenges of this uncertain time are not over, but we believe that we have the right ingredients for the long-term success of the business through a variety of high potential projects.
A buy today, raising his price target on Tesla to $350. So you actually raise, even though the stock is down and the market's worried about more price cuts. Why?
I think investors aren't seeing forest through the trees, because ultimately what's happening here, we're seeing a stabilization from a margin perspective, better than expected in terms of auto gross margins. You look at units, right now they're on a trajectory toward 2 million, and then this is the drum roll, the Super Bowl, to now what I believe is monetization of supercharger, battery, and I think last night the biggest thing from the conference call, FSD talking to another OEM, because this from an AI perspective is ultimately how I see Tesla getting to $1.5 trillion, $2 trillion
licensing
market.
FSD to another OEM. I mean, he said early days, it's never clear. We got no clarity on who it is or how far along or whether it may even come to fruition.
But ultimately, this is, for Musk, I think ultimately this is really the first step of what's going to be a broader strategy, because they've built it. I mean, if you look at FSD,
Full self-driving.
and I'll argue, Sarah, that's AI. I mean, we could talk. It's basically AI for automakers. You look at full self-driving. You look what happened with superchargers, and ultimately now batteries. And I think the story stabilizing from a margin perspective. The poker move massively played off from a unit perspective. And I think that's why this year, I think this is just the
The
start.
bumper move being lower in prices.
Low, because if you look at the lower prices, sacrificing prices for demand, it paid off, not just in China, in the US. And I think what you're seeing right now with EV play out, you're starting to see this green tidal wave we viewed as the biggest transformation to the auto industry since 1950s.
So Elon was speaking a lot in the earnings call, and it's just amazing to listen to him. I'll leave a little bit of an input towards the end of the video, but the one thing was really funny what he said. He said, we're making our own shit. I had to mention it, I'm sorry. So let's talk Cybertruck. I'm so excited for the Cybertruck, it's not even funny. So Tesla's official Twitter handle shared a photo of a Cybertruck surrounded by workers at Giga, Texas, with the caption, "First Cybertruck built in Giga, Texas." Now the tweet came a week after CEO Elon Musk shared a picture of him driving around Austin in the Cybertruck. Tesla influencers shared photos of the Cybertruck in New Zealand undergoing winter testing. And with Tesla confirming that the first Cybertruck has rolled off the production line, the launch could happen well ahead of timeline. Now Gary Black expects his EV truck to boost Tesla's volume significantly once production ramps up. He also sees the launch having a halo effect for the rest of the Tesla products. Now, this would be really interesting. Saturday News said, according to the coloring book, the Cybertruck has enough battery power to charge a Tesla. After a fan shared images of a coloring book found at a Tesla service center, sparking speculations about the possibility of bidirectional charging in upcoming vehicles. The Tesla coloring book showcases 3 pages dedicated to the Cybertruck. The book included illustration of Optimus, the Model 3, Model X and Y, Tesla Semi, the Roadster, Megapack solar panels, and the Powerwall. And this is why this is important. Bidirectional charging refers to a car's ability to charge itself and also supply power to external devices, homes, or other electric EVs. Earlier this year, on Investor Day, Tesla's Senior Vice President of Powertrain and Energy Engineering, Drew Baglino, said that bidirectional charging could happen in 2 years. It wasn't like a conscious decision, he said, not to do it. Just wasn't a priority at the time, while responding to an investor. Now, Elon Musk said that he does not see user demand for bidirectional charging unless they have a Powerwall. Gary Black said on Twitter on Sunday that the price of the Cybertruck could start just above the Model Y. Single motor rear-wheel drive version, $49,900. Dual motor all-wheel drive, $59,900. Tri-motor all-wheel drive, $79,900. At the time of the unveiling in 2019, Tesla priced the 3 variants at $39,000, $49,000, and $69,000 respectively. The price will allow all trims of Cybertruck to qualify for the $7,500 EV tax credit under the Inflation Reduction Act, Gary Black said, as opposed to the street estimate of 27% for Tesla in 2024. Black sees volume growing by 53% as the Cybertruck production ramps up. On Monday, Wedbush reiterates outperform on Tesla maintains $300 price target. Wells Fargo adjusts price target on Tesla to $265 from $170, maintains equal weight rating. Tesla stock has an average outperform rating and a price target range of $85 to $350 according to the analysts polled by Capital IQ. So, and this is also really awesome. Now, Tesla plans to double capacity at the Berlin Gigafactory, Wall Street Journal. This could make the factory the largest automaking plant in Germany. Tesla would produce up to 1 million electric cars per year. Full approval hinges on the environmental impact study, and that was the one that gave him a little bit of a headache the first time they opened the Berlin factory. Also, the proposed expansion would increase the factory's workforce to around 22,500 employees from more than 10,000 today. So why is the stock down? Why did it trade down? They had amazing earnings. They beat street estimate. It's because the analysts don't understand Tesla. So of course it's like, oh my God, they lost margins. Of course they lost margins. That's what they told us they're going to do. I don't know if you remember the Q1 earnings call. That's what Elon said. We're going to sacrifice margins for volume and for market share. So I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.
In Q2, we achieved record vehicle production and deliveries and record revenue of about $25 billion in a single quarter. Model Y became the best-selling vehicle of any kind globally in Q1, surpassing the likes of Corolla and Golf. So it was the number one vehicle of any kind, including vehicles that are at a seller far lower price. This is, I think, an incredible achievement by the Tesla team, and just a huge thank you to our customers for their support. So, and this came in spite of high interest rates and a lot of macro uncertainty, and nonetheless, sort of unique data and computing resources. And we have outstanding capabilities in all three arenas. And I really just don't know how anyone could do what we're doing, even if they had our software and had our computer, if they did not have the training data. So, speaking of which, our Dojo training computer is designed to significantly reduce the cost of neural net training. It is designed to, it's so optimized for the kind of training that we need, which is video training. So, we just see the need for neural net training, talking of quasi and the things, is just enormous. We expect to use both NVIDIA and Dojo, to be clear. We see a clear path to full self-driving being 10 times safer than the average human driver. We continue to build release candidates of the Cybertruck on our final production line in Austin. I'm actually here in Austin at the Gigafactory. This is the first truck that we're aware of that will have 4 doors over a 6-foot bed and will fit into a 20-foot garage. So it's sort of biggish on the outside, but it's even bigger on the inside. So it's I think that's one of the elements of good design is it should feel bigger on the inside than it looks on the outside. Some other highlights: our global supercharging network has over 50,000, roughly 50,000 connectors and over 5,000 locations. The Tesla charging standard, which we made open source, is called the North American Charging Standard. Is our Tesla, just as with the North American Charging Standard, although we're not licensed, in the case of licensing, we're just making it available. But we are very open to licensing our full self-driving software and hardware to other car companies.